Welcome to the Innovation Committee meeting on our joint project, the Virtual Assistant project for Aviva's Life Insurance Business Unit. Throughout the following slides, the acronyms shown are those which we have covered in our previous meeting. Please refer to them going forward. Representing the Innovation Committee from Aviva today, there is Sophie Barrow, Aviva's CTO, Nick Harsham, Aviva's Head of Underwriting, Leonore Castilla, Aviva's Head of Operations, Chen Seoa, Aviva's Senior Director for UK-based Customer Service Centres, and finally Francesco Silva, Aviva's Senior Director for non-UK based Customer Service Centres. Thank you all for coming to this meeting. Aviva is the UK's largest general insurer and has a total client base of 33 million people across 16 markets. And Aviva continues to grow, reporting a £49 billion revenue in year 2018. Aviva's net profit margin, however, has fallen 15% from 2018 also, which is a key problem we are all working together to improve. Aviva's life insurance business unit accounts for 82% of its overall revenue and is therefore of significant importance to the business. The goal of our meeting today is to decide if a virtual assistant can help improve Aviva's overall net profit margin, and if we as a joint committee want to take this solution forward. We are Aviva's innovation team, and there are 4 of us here today with you, the Innovation Committee. And you, the Innovation Committee, report to the CEO. Previously, we have held a strategic workshop with you. Secondly, we held an artificial intelligence workshop to help you better understand the technology itself. Thirdly, we conducted a more narrowed down workshop on virtual assistants and their potential for life insurance at Aviva. Based on this work, the innovation team, us, have established a preliminary technical blueprint for the virtual assistant discussed today. We have structured our presentation in 7 key steps. The research we have conducted across these 7 steps has solidified our belief that a virtual assistant is a promising technology to increase Aviva's life insurance profit margin. We have determined that a cognitive virtual assistant is better over a basic process automation application and an enhanced process automation application because it offers enhanced business decision support and advanced algorithmic capabilities to allow the automation of key business processes that are more cognitive by nature, such as conversing with field agents and existing clients. We have determined 12 key pain points within Aviva's life insurance. We have categorized these 12 pain points into 4 areas. These areas are poor customer awareness and understanding, limited conversion rates from leads to sales, low customer trust, and finally, suboptimal claim support. All 12 of these pain points are leading to Aviva's largest problem, which is, as aforementioned, a shrinking net profit margin. These 12 pain points are acting as barriers to achieving optimal outcomes in each of the 5 key life insurance business drivers. Therefore, they are highly important in assisting you in your decision making. The pain points have been grouped by the driver, which they are increasing the barrier for. For example, due to poor level of service levels, infrequent and irrelevant information provided to customers as per pain points 3.2, Aviva is limiting itself in increasing customer satisfaction in business driver number 1. As said before, the virtual assistant aims to align with Aviva's life insurance business drivers and help improve their individual outcomes. The virtual assistant project objectives must therefore be aligned and linked with Aviva's wider life insurance drivers, which are really important to the operations each one of you lead. An example of linking life insurance drivers to the virtual assistant project objectives is driver number 1, increasing customer satisfaction. This has been linked with the project objective to satisfy customer queries quickly. The virtual assistant project objectives will help drive the virtual assistant functional and non-functional requirements, which we will cover later on. Why should the Innovation Committee here today and Aviva's CEO take note of this project? We have linked each project objective with potential outcomes, which we have summarised as the business case. Firstly, sources suggest that a virtual assistant is able to resolve customer inquiries up to 75% faster than an agent could, which is linked with satisfying customer queries quickly. Secondly, a virtual assistant is able to increase staff productivity by up to 30% and generate annual cost savings of up to $1.3 million. This is linked with reducing calls and driving staff focus. Thirdly, 74% of UK-based insurance clients would like to interact with modern technology, and at present 63% don't use AI technology at all. There is a clear demand to increase conversational customer self-service from the client's perspective. Next, 47% of consumers are more likely to reinsure their policy if they are provided with the information they need and when they need it. A virtual assistant satisfies this need and will therefore help engage the customer with insights. Finally, virtual assistants will save up to 30% of customer support costs, as they can answer up to 80% of frequently asked questions asked by customers. This, therefore, eliminates the need for product information FAQs and therefore focuses field agents on sales. In order to understand what the virtual assistant will do, we have linked the 11 functional requirements of the virtual assistant with the project objectives. The functional requirements tell us exactly what the actual virtual assistant will do. For example, Objective 1, satisfy customer queries quickly, requires the virtual assistant to allow customers to request for documents such as policy forms and invoices. We have provided a content framework to better understand the type of content needed to satisfy each functional requirement. You can see there are 5 in total. Each of the 11 functional requirements of the virtual assistant must be technically viable. Each functional requirement is achievable through the 5 non-functional requirements as shown. For example, live chat escalation and routing non-functional requirement facilitates the functional requirement request for a customer service agent routing. The functional requirements require that Aviva's life insurance business unit opens its APIs to their databases. The type of data needed to meet the functional requirements is both personally identifiable information, such as date of birth, names and addresses, and non-personally identifiable information, such as fund reports. As PII data must remain on Aviva's premise, we recommend a hybrid deployment model, as it is most cost-effective and allows for a quicker time for the virtual assistant to be completed. As shown, this is a high-level architecture, demonstrating the multi-channel input from both the field agents and existing clients. They are the 2 stakeholder groups who this virtual assistant is targeted at. Field agents access the virtual assistant through a secure VPN login through their phones or computers, and existing clients access the virtual assistant through a secure web application which they access once logging on to Aviva's life insurance portal. This slide is important to you because it will shape how the organisation operates post-implementation. For example, once the project goes live, your departments will need to adapt your processes, your policies, your technology, and finally, the staff will have to adapt their way. For example, a virtual assistant relies heavily on clean data. It will be the duty of your department to cleanse the data so that the virtual assistant can be reliably used as to inform field agents and clients with correct information. To bring the virtual assistant to life, here we present a use case. We present John, an existing client. John is looking to change his standing order information, so his bank details. In scenario 1, he has to call a customer service agent. Often the agent misunderstands the question and the query and is often delayed in finding the correct information to give to John, as the agent may not know where to look for that information at first. So there's certainly an operational delay here. In scenario 2, however, the time wasted for John is expected to be 75% less, as our sources suggest, as the virtual assistant is able to handle the query, understand the intent of the query, and finally pull the data from the right place at the right time. John is therefore serviced quicker, and Aviva is able to learn from John's request and use this learning to increase customer satisfaction rates in the future by providing more accurate information even when the intent of the customer is slightly different. Now to some case studies of where this has been done in the real world. Tokyo Marine's insurance chatbot Tommy, a self-learning, multi-channel virtual assistant similar to the one we're suggesting today, was developed to simplify the insurance process for existing clients and agents. Tommy was built by AI startup Pan.ai and incubated at SG Innovate. Tommy aims to empower its agents and enable them to improve service through increased efficiency. It provides instant access to information at any time and sends out relative notifications and announcements. Consequently, agents are able to save time on redundant processes and focus their time on handling more complex queries and reduce customers' waiting time overall. As for the customer, the current version of Tommy aims to allow customers to understand and manage their insurance coverage more independently by providing instant and accurate explanations of commonly used terms in insurance, information on TMLS products and solutions, as well as serve as personalized protection gap calculators. The technology behind Tommy is called deep learning with NLP, natural language processing. Compared to the traditional NLP approach, which only interprets short phrases and sentences, deep NLP can interpret sentences regardless of length and grammatical accuracy. The virtual assistant was a successful implementation, has improved overall customer understanding and engagement, as well as increasing agents' efficiency as of right now. Zurich, a UK insurance company, ran a 6-week virtual assistant pilot for its non-emergency home and motor claims. The virtual assistant program, named Zara, allows customers to notify Zurich of a claim efficiently and intuitively. The virtual assistant gathers enough information regarding the incident, verifies policy details, and runs it through fraud detection algorithms, and passes the claim to the human claims handler, who can then respond to the customer and process the claim within 3 working hours, an improvement on the targeted 24 hours. Zara, the virtual assistant, is fully operational and can be accessed through the company's website under the Make a Claim tab. During the 6-week pilot, 2,000 customers used Zara to report a claim. 800 of these claims have been processed and resolved successfully, all under 3 hours. The virtual assistant introduction has led to a high level of customer satisfaction. Net Promoter Score, which is the percentage of customers wanting to recommend Zara to others, is at 81%. As of today, Zurich is exploring the potential opportunities for the virtual assistant application and are planning to develop a large-scale solution across the entire value chain. While we have assessed that the plan to implement a virtual assistant at Aviva is suitable to achieve Aviva's intended objectives, we realise that introducing a virtual assistant into our organisation is not free from evils. Drawbacks of a virtual assistant are that clients prefer to maintain human contact, especially when it comes to such a sensitive and personal subject as life insurance. It may be a concern that our virtual assistant cannot mimic human empathy. In addition, within the organisation, there are concerns for job cutting, and the advanced virtual assistant that we are planning to roll out brings with it large installation and updating costs. In addition, there are trust issues concerning the safety of information on the cloud, specifically any PII data leaks. While these drawbacks are valid, we will not be able to mitigate all of them fully. We are convinced that the benefits outweigh the costs, and this solution will lead to greater customer and employee satisfaction, as well as operational efficiency and long-term cost savings. We have identified 4 different factors that are critical for the success of the Aviva virtual assistant. The most important factor for the success of our solution is managing data quality issues. Our objective of increasing operational efficiency and increasing customer experience can be only achieved if the virtual assistant has high data quality, because data is essentially what fuels our virtual assistant. Recruitment and retention of specialist staff comes second. We plan to start out with a third-party vendor while developing in-house capabilities from them, and also independently. Redesigning the process and managing organisational change comes third, because operational efficiencies are only increased to the extent that there are no other bottlenecks created in the process, due to the need for human intervention. In addition, we will create an internal and external change management and communication plan. And finally, we will provide an overview of what has already been done and what needs to be done in the future. We have developed a business case through thorough research and data analysis to identify the economic value behind the implementation of a virtual assistant. we've prioritised the use case opportunities, and we've tried to ensure alignment with the company's overall business strategy. The next stage is planning. So we have sketched out Aviva's blueprints thoroughly. Next, we need to look at designing communication flows, creating customer experience maps, initiating the vendor selection process to design and implement our virtual assistant, and lastly, to prepare the technical architecture for system integration. Finally, coming to implementation, we would have the launch of Aviva, we'd have the development, the user acceptance testing, the final iterations of any software development, and finally the integration across all life insurance at Aviva. So as you can see at the bottom, we're targeting agents in the UK and the clients of Aviva in the UK. But if the launch goes well and Aviva sees tangible benefits, we would look to roll the virtual assistant out to other non-UK markets. So thank you for listening, and for anyone who is interested in the references for our presentation, please refer to the final 2 slides.